Hi, my name is Joe. I'm the owner of H&J Fence Supply. So in this video, I want to talk about the company as well as the core values that we have within the company. So that way people that are looking to apply to the company have a better understanding about us and, the expectations. So number one, we've been in business, it's only been about a year and a half. Previous to this, I did have a fence installation company that was around for about 7 years. We did a few $1 million a year in revenue. And we end up switching to, or we end up selling the company and focusing all of our attention on H&J Fence Supply, just because we really like building relationships with the contractors. So it's more of like a long-term relationship where we can help them grow their business, and that helps us, grow our business. So it's a very like symbiotic relationship. At this point, we are looking to grow rapidly. So at this point, the plan is, I'm recording this, it's the December of 2023. The goal is basically that in 2025 we will either have a second location or we will be moving into a much larger location. So that's up in the air at this point. What's going to entail with that is that because whether it's a new location or a larger location, it's going to mean that we need more team members. I don't really like the word employee, but that also means that we're going to need more and more people to start growing into more of management or supervisor type roles. So there's going to be a lot of room for advancement, and it's not something that's going to take a while to happen. It's going to happen pretty quickly. And just because, with owning my own business for the past 7 years with the fence company, there's a lot of lessons that I've learned, that I needed in order for, this business. So at this point, there's a lot of knowledge that I already have. So now it's basically I have to assemble a team that's going to help me grow the business to where it needs to be. So obviously, as an owner of the company, the goal is for us to, for myself and my wife to, make more money. But that's not the sole driving factor of why I want to grow the company. Number one, I see there's a need within the market where a lot of the suppliers, they're not, giving the customer service. They're not proactively looking to see how they can help their customers compared to like what we do. The other thing is that I'm looking for my entire team to be successful. So that's where, everyone has different stages of life and different responsibilities and roles that they're looking to have within a company. So some people are looking to come in just for, that, entry level, position, which is fine. But there's other people that, started those entry level positions, but their aspirations for life are just a lot higher. They want to go into more of management. They want to earn more money. They might want to go into sales and things like that. So basically I'm growing the company so that way I can support as many people as I possibly can. So that way they can, have a good life, work within a company that, actually values them. They enjoy working with the rest of the team within the company, and they actually enjoy just coming to work, right? So that's why I really want to grow the company. So that being said, what we found, and honestly, to be completely, honest, is that with the previous company, I just wasn't the owner. I wasn't the leader that I should have been. There's a lot of things I didn't do. There's a lot of shortcomings and things of that nature. So with this business, I've been actively like every single day on, working on myself to be the, the leader, the mentor, the coach that I should have been before. One of those things is, when we first started the business, is being very organized and intentional on what we're looking to do and who the types of people that we need within the organization in order to accomplish these goals, right? So one of those is one of the things that I went through. It's a book called Traction by Gino Wickman. And it basically talks about EOS. So it's the Entrepreneur Operating System. And with that, it basically gives you a structure on how to run the business, right? So it's used by thousands and thousands of companies, and it works really well. Now, the one thing that had to be put in place is number one, I needed a vision within the company, like where it was going to be in the next 10 years, right? and which I never really thought about before. But now I have this vision in place where I want to see myself, or the company in the next 10 years. And then from there, I have to keep on working backwards so that way, every year or every quarter, we're doing the things we need to do in order to achieve that goal. Okay, that's number one. Number two is that it had me go through and list out the core values or the character traits that everyone within the company needed to have in order for the company to be successful. Now, these character traits don't just apply to for the employees, which I don't like that word. I like team members instead. It doesn't just, pertain to you. It also pertains to myself and my wife as well, because in order for the company to be successful, we all have to have these character traits in order for it to make it work. Okay, so in this video, I do want to talk about these core values. So if you're applying for the position, if you don't absolutely have these, it's not going to work out. It's it's basically that has to be a good fit for both sides. Before this, I did manage, my uncle used to have a ton of McDonald's. I used to be different positions within that, general manager and things of that nature. And, whenever I was hiring people, and at this point, it's been hundreds of people that I've had to hire over the years, that I only looked at what that person could do for us, right? Or for the, McDonald's. But then I realized over time that it wasn't just about what, we can get out of the employee. It's like, what can we give to the employees, right? And because everyone needs something different. For me, I was a general manager, and honestly, I wasn't for the character traits that I have, I'm not set up to be a good general manager. I am not good at being the person that's in charge of the day-to-day operations and looking at the small details. I'm more of the big picture person, creating the culture within the company, and then, directing where we're going, while, having a team that I can rely on to help with those day-to-day operations, to help with those, minute details, things of that nature. And that's where my wife, Maria, really comes and helps within the company. So she's the one that runs the front side, for front counter, things like that, as far as like when the initial customer service, placing the orders, putting that order into production and things like that. And right now I'm the person that manages the production area, but honestly, the way we've built it, it's almost self-sustaining at this point. Now, come springtime when it's really busy, I will of course be, on the floor, or, working side by side with the rest of the team, because that's what's needed. Now, when it's slower like this time of year, this is where I'm going, putting things in place, working on the software that we're having developed, hiring, working on hiring the team, setting up the social media, the advertising, and things like that. So there's that. Now, what I will say right off the bat, for everyone that's looking to apply, is that we don't have a normal professional type environment here. It's very, we're very open and honest with everyone. We hear from a lot of people, even from past people that were, applying for the job, is like they felt like they had to kind of hide who they were and kind of fit like a certain mold to fit within the company, right? We don't really do that here. So it's very, I kind of call it like, it's a kind of like a dysfunctional, but organized environment. So what I mean by that is, like, my wife is 4'11", and when I used to go do quotes, I would tell people, my wife is 4'11", she's Italian and OCD, right? So she doesn't like take any crap. She's very outgoing and friendly and everything else, loves to joke around and everything like that. But like, the standards have to be met, right? Customers have to be taken care of, things like that. That being said, we have a lot of races and people with different backgrounds, ethnicities, and things of that nature. And in here, we're able to joke, kid around, and basically we try to have a good time, right? And, that being said, when it's slower, things like that, are we still working? Of course. But, are we having fun? Absolutely, because that's the main point. Like, we don't want to have a place. I didn't want to start another company where I didn't enjoy going there, right? So we want to have fun, but know that when it gets busy and work comes in, like it has to be done. Also know that like when it's slower, like we're expecting our team to take it upon themselves to look at like what needs to be cleaned up, straightened up, things like that, while still joking around, having fun with, you know, the rest of the team, right? So I just needed to get that right off the bat. We are, you know, we work with contractors, so they're like profanity. It's commonplace, right? But it's not ever where, you know, myself, I'm dropping the F-bomb because I'm pissed off and you know, angrily, you know, directed towards someone, right? But it is, you know, if you're offended by language, it's probably not a good fit, right? If you're looking for a very strict, a very you know, same thing throughout every single day and very quiet and things like that, it's not going to be a good fit. It's very loud. Again, people are joking, inappropriate jokes, things like that. It's just a commonplace here, right? But I do feel, and it's not just from my own feeling, but I hear it every day, not every day, but on a weekly basis, I will hear it from my team that they're going through stuff at home, right? Which we all are, but they enjoy coming into work because they get to have, like, they actually enjoy coming in and they get to forget about all the crap that they're dealing with at home. So I think that speaks volumes for the culture that we've built within the company. So the next part, I'm going to go through the core values. Again, if you don't have these core values or the character traits, it's not going to be a good fit. You know, we had a person that was great, but, you know, they weren't a fast individual. You know, they were very a laid back person, you know, from the South and things like that. And like you could see that they were trying their hardest, and you could see that they were stressed out almost all the time because they always felt like they were behind. They constantly were trying to rush to get everything done. Whereas like someone else could easily handle that job, where for them it just wasn't for them, so they're stressed out. And like, so that part, it's basically the company and the position wasn't a good fit for them. But then what ended up happening is because they were always falling behind, everyone else would have to chip in and always be helping to, you know, get their work done. Now, we believe in teamwork, we believe in jumping in and helping them as needed, but we do not believe in doing someone else's job, right? So that being said, I'm going to go through these core values. If you have them, great. If not, it's just not going to be a good fit. And I know I keep on drilling this, but we've seen it time and time again. If someone has all the core values, they're able to like jump in a team. They're able to like get acclimated really quickly, and they're able to like, you know, join everyone else, and everything flows together and it works really well. Whenever we bring in someone without the core values, it's pretty apparent within about a week or two that it's just like, it's almost like they're an outsider, where like, because everyone on the team is so ingrained on like what we do, that when someone on the outside isn't able to handle it, or they're, you know, coming in a negative attitude all the time, it's like night and day difference. So anyway, number one, customer service. So the easiest way to explain it, because I come from the fast food side, is most of the suppliers in the area, not most, but pretty much all, they're more like a McDonald's, right? Whereas, and a McDonald's like on a Sunday night when there's no GM and things like that, right? Whereas we are like the Chick-fil-A, you know, we're very consistent, we're friendly all the time. You will see it on front counter, or, you know, when the person stops in or they're calling, they're genuinely excited to talk and see these people, because one, like, we've built relationships with them. So it's not like, you know, you see the customer once and you never see them again. It's like you see them week after week after week. And that's where we love building the relationships with them and joking around, having fun and things like that. So basically we try to have them, you know, whatever mood that they came in with, we're hoping that they are, you know, happier when they leave, right? Number two, speed. So speed is king. So this is, like I talked about the other person, we're a fast-paced environment, right? So we need people that are naturally geared towards moving quickly. You know, if you're the type of person that looks at like, you know, like you have like 3 tasks for the day and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to take all day to get these tasks done, it's probably not going to be a good fit. We're looking for the people that see the 3 tasks, they're like, all right, let me get this done, so in case something else pops up, we can like accommodate that, or like then I can work on something else. That's the type of person we're looking for. Integrity. We have to be able to trust each other. So, and again, this isn't just I have to be able to trust you that you're not stealing or, trying to get out of work and things like that. It also comes on my side where you have to be able to trust me that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, right? So if you ask me to do something for you and I tell you I'm going to do it, like I need to do it. If you talk to me in confidence about something, you have to be able to trust that I'm not going to like blab out all your, personal business that you don't want anyone else to know, right? So it's definitely a two-way street here. Next is teamwork. So we are a smaller company at this point as of right now, but we are growing drastically. But we believe in helping each other. If someone's falling behind because there's a last minute order that was put in place or, something like that, we believe that we will automatically jump in and help that person however we can, right? So again, my wife's 4'11" and Italian, or I guess that doesn't really matter, sorry. So she's 4'11". There's a lot of times where the contractor might order just a single post or something like that. Now her and, Ashley that's on counter will run out to grab the post right away, even though it's 9 foot tall, and bring that in right away. So that way, because the other people are working on something else. So we're always jumping in, helping each other out. Again, we believe in helping each other. We don't believe in doing each other person's job, right? The next thing is growth mindset. And honestly, these next three are like super, they're all important, but these are like probably my top three. So growth mindset. So again, this company's only been around for a year and a half, but I tell everyone that the company you see today is nowhere near what the company you're going to see in the next year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and so on, right? So we're constantly growing. We're constantly tweaking like what we do to facilitate the growth and also make the company better, more efficient, make sure it's better for the team, things like that. So we need people that are willing to grow as a person and basically grow within the needs for the company, right? So it's not my needs, right? It's really everything's based on the company. The way I explain it to everyone is like a sled dog team, right? So the way most businesses are run is basically all the employees are the dogs, and then you have the owners and like the upper management, things like that. They're the ones standing on the back of the sled, like, telling the dogs to go and mush and like things like that. That's not how we do it here. So the way we do it instead is that the entire team, myself included, my wife included, we are the dogs, right? And we are dragging the H&J Fence Supply, which is the one standing on the back. We are dragging the company as quickly as we can to where we need to go, right? So we're all jumping into this. But we need people that are willing and able to adapt. If you need somewhere that's, again, the same thing over and over, the structure's already in place, it's been time tested and everything else, this is not the company for you, because it's, again, a year and a half. We're kind of like a brand new startup at this point. As far as like with the job security, I'm not concerned about that whatsoever because we are growing rapidly. But like things are constantly changing, but not huge changes, right? So the other thing that we do is that every 2 weeks, or it's supposed to be every 2 weeks, it's for the most part every two, but I will sit down with each person individually, right? And so the purpose of these meetings is, one, to see how they're doing within the company. Like, how's everything going? Is anything, like, do you need anything? Like, are you short on materials? Or is there like, do you need gloves? Like, what do you need, right, from me to make things better, right? And so with those meetings, I'll ask two questions every time. So it's, what's a small tweak that we can make that's going to make a big difference for your job? And it could be like anything, because the way I look at it is like the person's doing the job for like 30, 40 hours a week, and they know better than I do what they need. They know better than I do on what should be changed, where they think it might make an improvement to their job, right? Might make it easier, might make it faster, might make it more enjoyable, right? The other question I ask is like, what's a small tweak that we can make that will make a big difference for the company? Because again, we're all working together. So you might see that this other area that things might need to be changed, or a layout might be better changed to be more efficient and things like that. The other part of the meeting that I have is really if you need to talk about stuff that's going on in your personal life. We're all going through crap, myself included, my wife included, no one's immune to this. We're all going through some kind of struggle and, things like that. And what I found is that a lot of times we feel like there's no one that we can talk to. So then we kind of like start bottling up all these emotions and the issues and everything else. And the next thing you know, like we're losing it, for no reason, because we've been trying to deal with the weight of the stress for so long on our own. Now, this is not a requirement to talk about your personal life, but like there's been several people like on my team that whenever we talk, it really, it's a little bit about the business, but then it's a lot about the personal side of things. And the reason why I do this is because if I can help you not just in work, but outside of work as well, then I feel like, and I've seen it, that the people, once we can, like, they can get some of this stuff off their chest, or like they can actively start working towards, making things better, that you're going to be happier. You're going to like show up to work more often. Not that we really have an issue with that, but when you come in the door, if I can help alleviate a lot of that stress, well, then you're just going to come into work happier, more productive. You're going to treat the customers better, and that's why we do it, right? Next one is ownership mentality. Again, it's super important to me. When I bring someone into the team, I am looking for them to own their role. Obviously, when you first come in, you have to get trained and things like that. But I am looking for the people that will say, hey, I think it might be better if we do it this way. Hey, I was slow, so I saw this was disorganized, so I ended up cleaning this up. Things like that. I'm not looking to be the one person that's like constantly reminding you, like, hey, did you do this? Hey, did you do that? I'm looking for the people that I let you know what needs to be done, and like you just do it, right? And that's knowing that, one, if you take an ownership role of your specific role, one, you're making the company more successful, which then makes you more successful, right? Because as the company keeps growing, that means I can start promoting people and things of that nature. And that also means I can like pay people more. Again, I'm not the typical, owner that is like, we keep on driving more and more sales, but then like the employees don't see anything from that. I am trying to distribute as much as I possibly can, because at this point, like, money is just not a motivating factor for me. It's just not. Next, last one, consistency. This is probably the most important one that we have. And it sounds very basic, but because, again, like at the McDonald's and things like that, I have personally managed at least 1,000 people at this point. After 10 years at McDonald's and, how many ever shifts and things like that, what I've personally seen and experienced is that if there's 10 people on a shift, and I know 9 of them are solid team members, right? They're coming in, they're doing what they're supposed to do, they're friendly, they're not bringing in like drama and starting crap and things like that, and everything's great. But then there'll be that one person that you don't know if they're going to show up, you don't know what time they're going to show up, you don't know if they're going to be like a complete wreck. There's been times where it's like, are you hungover again? You're calling out again. You have this family drama again. Things like that. Again, we all have stuff in our personal lives, but we are looking for the people that consistently show up in consistently the same like mindset, demeanor, things like that. If I have to start wondering what type of person is going to show up, like is it person A or person B showing up, kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde thing, it's not going to work out. It means that then I'm stressing out, because that's an area of the business that now is just shorthanded. So if we're hiring for the front counter position and like the person's not consistent, then the other 2 people that are on counter are constantly wondering like, hey, is this person actually going to show up, right? And then it stresses them out. So then they're in a bad mood just from the start with, because they're like, oh, here we go again, right? So again, I know I've drilled this numerous times. I know this is a longer video, but like I've basically had the same conversation over and over again when people are applying. So it just makes more sense to just do a video and, do it that way. So again, if you don't have these core values, you will not be a good fit. You're only going to be wasting your time, and you're only going to be wasting our time, because we will see it immediately, and it's usually within a week or two. You know, the first week is normally like people are on their best behaviors and things like that, but like people can only fake these core values or these character traits for so long, and then they start popping up, and at that point it's usually within, like, when we bring everyone in, it's like for a 30-day probationary period to make sure we're going to be a good fit for each other, that, you know, we will know before the 30 days, like, it's just not a good fit, and that means then we're hiring, you know, going through the hiring process again and things like that. So again, goes back through this. Again, customer service, we're looking for people super friendly, really caring about our customers. Speed is king. We're looking for fast people. We're looking for honest people. We're looking for people that work together well in a team. We're looking for people that can grow with the company. We're looking for people that really own their roles and really are like, aren't always relying on someone else to tell them what to do all the time, you know? And know that, like, if you are owning your role, like really owning it, and you're looking to move up and make more money and things like that, that's the way you do it. Like, you know, you don't get the raises, you don't get the promotions until you actually show and actually consistently do the work that that next position would do. And then the last thing is, again, is consistency. We're looking for people, like, things may pop up, like kids may get sick, or, you know, things like that, and we get it. But we are looking for people that, you know, out of 100 days, like 98 of them, they are the same person every single day. We cannot have people that, you know, once a week where it's like they're coming in a bad mood because now it's another fight with whoever. Again, we all have our personal stuff, but at the end of the day, we have to put that aside and make sure that the company is successful. Otherwise, it's going to bring down the whole team and the entire company. So if you're still interested, please continue to apply. I would love to talk to you, and then show you the team and things like that. So anyway, I hope you have a great day. Sorry for the longer video, but all this needs to be said. Thank you. Bye.